Everford, The Fantastic Tales of Terry Turner, takes viewers/subscribers on an epic, fantasy journey. Plus, as you journey along with Terry Turner, it'll feel like you're meeting characters you already know and love. Everford, The Fantastic Tales of Terry Turner is an original comic book story that's set inside the short story universe. Furthermore, this is a fantastic story that teaches viewers/subscribers character development, character arc, story structure, and lots more. The best way to fully enjoy this story is by turning on CC Closed Captions. Afterward, get your snacks ready as you listen, learn, and enjoy an epic comic book story called Everford, The Fantastic Tales of Terry Turner. Priceless Book Haul. "May I help you with a purchase?" asked Mr. Alan Miller. "Just browsing around, like always," said Terry Turner. "There's a lovely stack of fantasy books that came in an hour ago," said Mr. Miller as he pointed toward the rear of the book hall. "Fantasy books," whispered Terry as he curiously walked toward the back of the book hall. Terry found a large table with a small stack of fancy-looking books on top of it. "Look at the expensive art covers on these," said Terry as he adored the book covers. "I had the same reaction," said Mr. Miller with the biggest smile on his face. "Oh snap, grandfather's birthday party," said Terry as the reminder alert goes off on his high-tech device. Terry grabbed one of the fantasy books and he hurried up to the front checkout counter. Terry quickly scanned the paid app on his high-tech device. "I'm sure you'll enjoy this," said Mr. Miller with a cute smirk on his face as he placed the book into a small shopping bag. "Thanks, Mr. Miller," shouted Terry as he hurried out of Priceless Book Hall. 10th and Adventure Street. To the mortal reading this, you are about to enter a city that may be shocking to others. Yet, to you, it will feel like being at home, said Terry as he crossed the street. Suddenly, a taxi car came out of nowhere. "Oh my gosh," shouted Terry as he gazed eye to eye with the taxi car driver. Suddenly, Terry vanished from the street. Thus, the magical book Terry held fell into the street. A young witness named Zoe Dotson screamed to the top of her lungs. Everyone all around gazed at Zoe and the taxi car driver like they were crazy. "He vanished," whispered Ralph Boomer as he quickly exited his taxi car and frantically gazed all around in search of Terry. "Everford," said Zoe as she picked up the book off the street. "It's fiction," said Ralph as he glossed over the front cover of the book. "He was reading this as he crossed the street," said Zoe. "Maybe it sucked him inside of it," said Ralph. "Wait. What?" asked Zoe. "Some books do this," said Ralph. "What should we do with it?" asked Zoe. "Here, I'll take it," said Ralph as he quickly removed the book from Zoe's hand and got back inside of his taxi car. As Zoe walked out of the street toward the sidewalk, she noticed Mr. Miller as he stood out front of Priceless Book Hall. As Ralph drove off, he slowly disappeared from inside of the taxi car. Thus, the taxi car drove directly toward Priceless Book Hall and it hit an old fire hydrant. As Zoe screamed to the top of her lungs, a massive crowd rushed over toward Priceless Book Hall. Priceless Book Hall. Outside of Priceless Book Hall stood Mr. Miller. "Can someone please dial 911?" shouted a young man. "Where's the driver?" asked a hysterical young lady. "All is well," shouted Mr. Miller toward the massive crowd. "You didn't even flinch as the taxi came crashing over," said Zoe as she curiously gazed up and down at Mr. Miller. "Fear is not an option," said Mr. Miller. "Does anyone know where the driver is?" shouted a young man. "There's not a single scratch on this car," said an older lady. "I heard a loud car crash," shouted a teenager. "So did I," shouted a young lady. "There's no need for panic," shouted Mr. Miller. "Strange occurrences happen a lot in this area," said an older gentleman as he curiously gazed into Mr. Miller's eyes. "What's going on here?" asked an older gentleman. "Did anyone check the back seat of the car?" asked Mr. Miller. Suddenly, the back seat's car door opened and Ralph crawled out the back seat of the car. "He's okay," shouted a teenager. "Funny. I checked the back seat, and he wasn't there," said Zoe. "Perhaps you need new sunglasses," said Mr. Miller. "These are new sunglasses," said Zoe as she intensely gazed eye to eye with Mr. Miller. "Move out the way," shouted Ralph as he honked the horn as he drove the car in reverse. "The show is over, folks. Please return to your daily schedule activities," shouted Mr. Miller. As the massive crowd quickly dispersed, many members shook their heads in total disbelief. Everford. "What is this place?" asked Terry as he stepped out of the portal. "This place is called Everford," said Gregory with a handsome smile on his face. "We've been expecting your arrival all day," said Gwendol. "You knew I was coming," said Terry. "You found the book we left on the table at Priceless Book Hall," said Gregory. "Mr. Miller told me about it," said Terry. "Now you're here," said Gwendol. "It's just like the fancy book cover," whispered Terry as he lovingly gazed all around Everford. "Your bungalow is right over there," said Gwendol as she gestured over toward the left. "My bungalow," whispered Terry. "Since you've arrived, you'll be meeting Prince Evander and Princess Quenisha in 30 minutes, said Gregory. "Wait. Evander and Quenisha," said Terry. "Yes, and they'll explain the ins and outs of Everford," said Gwendol. "Welcome to Everford," said Gregory with the biggest smile on his face. "This is amazing," whispered Terry as he strolled through the cheerful massive crowd. Everford, The Fantastic Tales of Terry Turner, Part 2, coming soon. Did you enjoy Part 1 of Everford, The Fantastic Tales of Terry Turner? I love reading all the fantastic comments in the comments section. Welcome! Goes out to all the first-timers on this channel. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and kindly share this video on your social media. A great way to keep up to date with the comic book content on this channel is by simply clicking the bell notification icon. Quick reminder. Part 2 of Everford, The Fantastic Tales of Terry Turner. Coming soon. Thanks for watching.